Hey guys, it's John with another test of the JRB Hitch. Basically, I will be repeating a test that I did about a week ago, and I really wasn't prepared for that test because what I'm doing besides slack testing and load testing and cyclic loading and probing at its stability, I also then want to release it under load, and I'm the load. And I wasn't prepared for that because your body, your brain will not allow you to do that unless you're safe. And so I've re-rigged the system now so that I've got redundancy. So when I release it under load, there's a second JRB hitch in the system to catch me. And so why don't we pan out and see what we've got here. All right, so the upper JRB hitch is the one I'm testing. The one beneath it is my safety setup. And for the beginning part, that'll be under slack. Got that nice and slack. This is what I'm going to do right now. I just tied that hitch, and it hasn't been loaded yet. I'm going to load it with my body weight. And there, you can see it setting. Slack in the second. And so, please start the timer, and we're gonna basically test this. I'm gonna try to upset it in any way I can by cyclic loading in any direction. I'm gonna go slack, I'm gonna whip it. Basically, I'm trying to get that thing loose. Compromise in any way. I think we're a little more than halfway through our 3 minutes. I'm going to keep at it. So we're only doing this test for 3 minutes, but I've done it for 10 myself, and I'm very impressed with the stability of the hitch under load with this kind of testing. So I've not been able to get it to go. Okay, so we're at 3 minutes now, and you get the impression. But 3 minutes was prescribed to me, and that's why we went that amount of time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my entire body weight on that hitch while backing myself up on the redundancy, and I'm going to release it under load. Okay, so little So as you can see, my feet are a couple feet off the ground, and I am my weight is fully on that upper hitch. And the backup is exactly that. It's slack in the backup. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to release that upper hitch with my body on it. Now, of course, 100% of my body weight is on this right now. Every pound I put on here redistributes my body weight between these two lines. And I don't have a scale on the system, but I am going to describe it. So, with one hand, I am unable to release this. That's all my strength. And I'm strong enough to do pull-ups, so that's half my weight. Now with the second hand, now it's starting to move. Roughly about a half of my weight is on that. And now as the bite goes in, it gets more difficult. I know I can do it, but I have to put almost my entire weight on it. And you can see the result. So pretty difficult to release that under load. However, when it's unloaded, let's do it with the second hitch. So same deal now with the second hitch. If I unload it, I'll just wrap it with my fingers and it comes right down. So it self-jams under load and is amazingly easy to release when it's not under load. So that concludes the test. What I'm going to do right now, though, is simply repeat not the entire test, but only the part where we release it under load. I'll tie that a couple more times and edit that together. Thank you. Okay, guys, this is test number 2 of the JRB hitch release under load. And so I just tied it. The upper one is going to be sustaining me. The bottom one is my backup that will absorb my weight after the fall. So the first step is to load the hitch, and you can zoom in on the hitch to watch its characteristics as we load it. And I'll talk you through that. So right now, I'm going to sit into it, right now. That's the initial set. And I'm bouncing, get that. That's about as much as I would ever give it unless I fell. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get myself a couple feet off the ground, and I'm going to take most of the slack out of my backup system. That's how much I'm going to fall. Okay. And so now, this that I'm shaking, that's the release line on the upper hitch. And I'm going to start to pull on that. And again, I'll try to do it with one hand. I'll see if I can move that with one hand. And I can. So this time, I can move that with one hand. Now it's getting tighter. All right, I have to use the second hand. Okay, so now this time, that first bite went, and the hitch didn't go. Keep pulling, and there it went. Okay, so we're gonna do a take 3 now. Okay, so here's the third test under load of the JRB quick release hitch. So first, I will set my weight into it, and as before, you can look up at the hitch and watch it take load. There's it getting set. I'm going to get myself a couple feet off the ground, bounce a few times. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is take the slack out of the backup. So the JRB hitch beneath it is my backup, and I'm going to fall onto that. Now I assume the release line, I'm wiggling on the upper hitch. I wrap it around my right hand and attempt to pull it, and with most of my strength I'm able to move that. But now I can't move it past this point. I have to grab a second hand. And okay, now you just watched me fall onto the second one, so it's obviously fully loaded, and it had not been set before. That was a short fall. But again, if I try to release this under load, it takes a good amount of effort. I will unload it, and I'm going to simply grab the rope. And with that much strength, I'm able to release the line. Okay, there you have it, JRB hitch, probing at its stability and fault tolerance and release under load. Thank you very much.